a new world order. NATO meets Trump, July 14th, 2025. It wasn't just a meeting, it was a recalibration of the West, a test of alliances, a redefining of power in a world recovering from digital revolutions, energy crises, and global disorder. This is the story of what happened when NATO met Trump in 2025. This is Viral Info, a documentary-style Channel July 14, Nisen Niju Goal, a date etched into modern geopolitical history. To understand the magnitude of that day, we must rewind. The year is 2020. Trump loses his re-election bid. The world assumes the Trump era is over, but behind-the-scenes rallies never stop. Influence never fades, and by 2024, Trump roars back to power, promising to finish what he started. By July 2025, President Trump is back in office, but it's a different world now. The US is no longer just a military power, it's an AI superpower. And NATO facing unprecedented threats from the East, internal fragmentation, and the rise of digital insurgencies. It stands at a crossroads. While the world watched US politics, NATO was quietly unraveling. The Russian Federation had expanded its influence beyond Ukraine, using drones, disinformation, and energy dependency as silent weapons. China had established near-complete naval control in the South China Sea, striking quiet economic deals with NATO members. And within Europe, populism surged, questioning NATO's value, its spending, and even its purpose, encouraging the successor, NATO's new secretary. Dutch diplomat Danica, Vandermeer Toff, strategic and diplomatic, her mission to reunite a fractured alliance and confront the American president once called NATO obsolete. The world held its breath as Annika Vandermeer arrived at the White House. Behind closed doors, a strategic duel of titans was about to begin. Today's meeting between President Trump and Secretary General Vandermeer could determine the very future of NATO. Inside, Trump's agenda was clear. Increased European defense contributions shift NATO's cyber policy toward US-led AI. Defense establish a NATO border surveillance AI system, codenamed Sentinel-Hawk. And most controversially, reconsider NATO's Article 5 commitment unless economic fairness is restored. Vandermeer came prepared with a confidential digital security report in hand. She countered, NATO needed U.S. leadership, not dominance. Sentinel-Hawk should be jointly governed, not U.S. Sunday in warfare must be ethically regulated, and in return, European nations would meet the 2.5% GDP defense target if the U.S. reaffirmed its security guarantees. 4 hours, the meeting teetered on collapse. Then came the pivot. President Trump unveiled the Pentagon's secret weapon, a classified AI program named Eagle, capable of detecting cyber threats in real time and predicting military escalations before they happen. Vandermeer was impressed and cautious. She requested NATO-wide trials before full deployment. Trump agreed, but only if European data could be securely handled by American processors. That was the deal maker. On July 14th, 2025, NATO and the United States signed a new digital defense pact. Not only would NATO modernize, it would transform. From Brussels to Beijing, the world reacted instantly. The Trump-Van-der-Mia agreement marks a dramatic shift in global alliances. China criticized the AI pact as technological imperialism. Russia called it an act of digital provocation. But Europe mixed up. France warned of over-reliance on American AI. Germany celebrated the increased defense spending. Poland and the Baltics ecstatic at stronger U.S. guarantees. Yet, deep within think tanks and war rooms, another truth settled in. This wasn't just NATO 2.0. It was NATO.ai, a new alliance model, shaped by data, driven by machines, and guarded by unpredictable human will. A new NATO emerges weeks after the July summit. NATO unveiled its Digital Command Center in Frankfurt. American and European experts now worked side by side on cyber defense, drone strategy, and battlefield automation. EagleNet became the backbone of NATO's cyber shield. Sentinel Hawk was deployed on the Turkish border, monitoring over 2,000 miles of frontier with real-time intelligence. Joint military drills began using robotic units and predictive combat algorithms for the first time in decades. NATO felt reborn. We are not just defending borders anymore. We are defending future generations from unseen digital wars. Critics and controversies, but not everyone applauded. Privacy activists feared AI overreach. Diplomats warned of American overdominance in Europe. And inside Washington, some members of Congress accused Trump of militarizing AI without transparency. In response, Trump remained unapologetic. NATO needed a backbone. We gave them a titanium spine. That's called leadership. The truth was complex. The West had modernized its defense, but at what cost? Conclusion: a shifting world order as the world drifted deeper into an age of data warfare and global mistrust. One thing became clear. On July 14, 2025, Donald Trump didn't just meet NATO's Secretary General. He rewrote the alliance. He redefined what security meant. And he left a signature, not just on paper, but on the future of Western power. Vandermeer and Trump shaking hands one last time. This was the day diplomacy met disruption. This was the new NATO. Written by Viral Info Research, team produced by voiceover Hanif. This documentary is a work of informational storytelling based on real events, dramatized for educational and narrative purposes.